Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 27 updates and spoilers. I hope you're all having a great day today. I am not. Sorry. Okay. This is really hard to get through. Our house guest of the day is my sister's cat, Homer, who unfortunately we lost today. We love him and we miss him. But I want to just put out there, you guys, make sure you support your local animal shelters and give your babies an extra hug today for us. Okay. Whew, I'm sorry. I need to get it together, but it's been a really, really rough day, but I still wanted to be able to do this for you guys, so I'm sorry. Okay. And I also want to say, Sheena, we are thinking of your dad who is still in the hospital. I hope he gets better soon and he can go home. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. All right. So, it's a rough start to the video. But anyway, last night was eviction night. Keanu, Vince, and Zach were up on the block. And thankfully, Keanu did not throw the blockbuster competition because that would have been like the nail in the coffin for this season. I don't know how we would have come back from that. It would have been pretty bad. But he did end up winning it. And as he said, the legend continues. So we have Vince versus Zach up on the block. Zach was evicted by a vote of 8-2. The two, as we saw, were Rachel and Will. And I guess like at least Zach is leaving with his $10,000 from not using his 10K buy-off power. And it's just wild to me because I've seen a few clips today from Zach's exit interviews. And this dude has the nerve to call Ashley dumb when he left this house because he had this power to save himself and he didn't use it. That's pretty bad. And I saw a few of the interviewers call him out on that. So I think he's going to be realizing over the next few days just what a boner of a move that was. But anyway, it's just, yeah. He was very surprised to find out that Ashley is a lawyer. Anyway, no HOH competition on last night's episode, and it did not end up being the wall comp. I know Hamster Watch was saying that it was going to be the wall comp, but I'm almost thinking like originally it was, and then they ended up changing courses and switching and picking something else. This was some sort of a memory competition, and the feeds came back around 11 p.m. Big Brother time, and we find out that Rachel won HOH. Oh my god! And I'm so excited for her. Please do not take my lack of energy during the stream as me not being excited because I'm so excited about Rachel being HOH. This is actually her 7th career HOH win, which is wild. I'm pretty sure that ties the record for overall HOH wins. It's a crazy number. Even over 3 seasons, it's crazy. But yay, we finally got the queen in charge. So Keanu and Vinny were chatting in the storage room. And Vinny is pretty confident that he's going to be seeing the block this week. I mean, he doesn't have a great relationship with Rachel, right? He's not sure if he's going to go up right away or if he's going to be a replacement nominee after the veto. But Keanu is saying, well, if you're nominated and I win the veto, I'll use it on you. And he says the replacement nominee will probably be someone that we would want it to be. So he is happy to do that. And he says, I'm going to use it even if Rachel doesn't want me to. I don't know if that's a good idea with Keanu trying to rebuild his relationship with Rachel and really get that going. Some of the wording that he used here, I wasn't feeling so great about. But yeah, he was telling Vince, I will use the veto on you and I'm going to force Rachel to put Mickey up. And then he kind of like walked that back and he's like, all right, I'm not going to say that to Rachel, but I will tell her that Mickey should go up. So Keanu is reassuring Vince, even if you are on the block for the vote, you're not going home this week. You had so many votes to keep you safe this week. You would have votes to stay, or you had votes to stay last week. You would have votes to stay again this week. So he's really trying to pump Vince up. And again, Keanu is like a kid with two dolls and he's holding them together and he's like, now kiss. Like, that's him with Rachel and Vince. He really is trying to like make this alliance happen. And Rachel and Vince are both like, they don't want to do it. They don't want to work together. Yeah, so then Riley comes in and these three, the unreplaceables or unexpendables or whatever they're calling themselves, Riley, Keanu, and Vince, they celebrate making it through the week. While Vinny also chants, I'm going up. I'm going up. He knows he's in trouble here. He's already trying to like go through and count his potential votes if he's up on the block this week. But Keanu again is telling him like, chill, baby, chill. It's gonna be fine. So Keanu says he wants to pull together an alliance with obviously himself, Vince, Riley, Rachel, Kelly, and Catherine. So an alliance of 6. Looking at this group, like, let's not get too carried away yet. I really love the idea of Rachel and Keanu working together, and maybe even Vince if he's serious about it, and maybe Kelly if she's serious about it as well. But let's just leave the showmance off to the side. We don't need to be bringing them into this. So yeah, Keanu says this would be a fantastic group. We've all won at least one competition. We can keep winning. We'll control everything. We're all winners. And he says Rachel should want to work with this group because we give her the best chance of winning. And Vinny brings up, Rachel might not want to work with us. Like, she might be more comfortable working with the other side because she knows she has a better chance of beating them in competitions. And Keanu's like, nah, we're gonna be able to help her to get to the top 6. So like it makes more sense for her to work with us. I don't know, could go either way, right? So then Mickey and Morgan are chatting in the wine room. Wine as in WHINE. You know Mickey is pissed that Rachel won HOH this week. Morgan is a bit more upbeat than I was thinking she would be. I thought she was going to be a complete disaster after losing Zach. I think she was crying quite a bit earlier, like before the feeds came back. But yeah, at this point, I guess she's better. I don't know. But she's also kind of hyped up because she got second place in the HOH competition. She was so close to victory. And she says, I'm going to win the wall comp. No, no more about the wall comp. I hope if they do the wall comp, Morgan is like the first one out. That's what we deserve to see after all of the suffering that we've endured. But anyway, Mickey says her spirit feels uneasy. I wonder why. She says the worst thing that could happen would be for Morgan and Vinny to go up this week. So like she doesn't think she's at risk of going up on the block. Mickey says the worst thing that could happen would be for Vince and Morgan to go up, not herself. She just does not even consider like any possibility of her going up on the block, which is wild to me with all of the shit that Mickey was talking about Rachel last week. Like, does she not think that some of that's going to get back to Rachel? Absolutely wild. But Mickey is like, oh, I hope you two don't go up on the block this week. Of course, like if you do, I'd fight for you to stay. But it's like, and Morgan tells Mickey, you can't fight too hard, right? You don't want to mess up your game. And Mickey's like, yeah, I know. So yeah, anyway, they're hoping maybe Will and Ashley can put in some work for them with Rachel since they are close to her. So you're going to have to be nice to Ashley this week. Is that what you're saying? It's crazy still. I still cannot believe the way that Mickey talks to Ashley sometimes. It's out of control. But Mickey's hoping maybe only Vince will go up. Maybe it'll just be one of us, and then, you know, we can take him down, or he can take himself down. He could win one of the competitions, whatever. And then she's saying also maybe Keanu will go up on the block. Why would Keanu go up? What? Keep dreaming, girly. Yeah, so that's that. Meanwhile, they're in Delululand, the wine room. Meanwhile, Ashley and Will are chatting in the train bedroom, and they are talking about how happy they are for Rachel because she really needed that boost. She really needed to see the pictures of her family, and just like the joy of winning a competition, especially since she is playing this game for the third time and she was really wanting to win so that she could have some power here because she hasn't won anything yet this season. So they're talking about how they don't want her going anytime soon, and they did not appreciate how Mickey was trying to push for them to target Rachel. Like, she was basically trying to move their mouths so that they would say, we're targeting Rachel. If we win HOH, we're putting Rachel up. So Ashley says Mickey thinks we're playing her game, and she thinks that we're easily manipulated. Well, sometimes maybe a little bit, right? Ashley and Will both drive me crazy because they both have like these flashes of genius where I feel like they really get it. They see what's going on. But then they'll be in the presence of Mickey and they just like go along with it, whatever she's saying, and they just follow her lead, and it's frustrating. But because Rachel's in power this week, I think Ashley and Will fully be on board with what Rachel's doing. So Will says he loves Mickey. He likes Morgan. Notice Mickey love, Morgan like. But he says they were getting too big for their britches, right? Especially Mickey with that HOH win. After that, she was just a completely different person. So then Rachel comes in, and these three, Ashley, Will, and Rachel, are talking about the votes. Who were the 2 votes to keep Zach? The call is coming from inside the house. I'm not sure if Will owned up to his vote, but I'm pretty sure Rachel is still trying to lie about hers. I'm sure she wants Keanu to think that she voted to keep Vince because she promised him she was going to do that, but she didn't. So Ashley tells Rachel, I think it's actually possible for you to patch things up with Mickey and Vince. Is it? I mean, it might be possible, but like sometimes it's just not worth trying. Like, why bother? You can have enemies in this game and you can take them out. I think I would rather just take them out. But Rachel agrees. She says she loves Mickey. She does not want her to go yet. She'd be so sad if Mickey left. I really hope Rachel's just saying this. I really hope she's just saying this because she's still trying to take the temperature of how close Ashley and Will are to Mickey at this point. But I'm going to need someone to spill to Rachel about all the crap that Mickey's been saying about her. So Ashley says, also with Vince, he's like obsessed with Rachel. He's always talking about her. And she feels like Vince has kind of lost some of the power, the influence that he had over people before. She feels like he was really knocked down a peg when he was on the block. I mean, he basically spent all of last week crying. So he is not as big of a threat as they previously thought. And Rachel seems to agree with this as well. So I don't know what is Rachel planning here? What does she have up her sleeve? So a little later, Vince chats with Rachel in the bathroom and he congratulates her on her win. And Rachel's like, yeah, it came at the perfect time. I also have to mention, I feel like I've seen Rachel wearing at least 4 to 5 different outfits since she won HOH. She's just changing through the outfits. I don't know if it's because she knows like she's going to be on this episode a lot and she wants to have all these different outfits featured, but they've all been a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying all the different outfits. But it was just funny. But Vince says, I think it would be foolish for me to think that you wouldn't consider putting me on the block. And he tells her, if you do put me up, it's a game. I get it. But he tells her, just please go easy on the nomination speech because my mommy's watching. So they share a laugh about this. And Rachel's like, I couldn't possibly say anything worse than Ava said to you last week. So Rachel tells him, I have not made any decisions yet about what I'm going to do. And Vince says, I promise I'm not some sort of crazy manipulative person. He says he's just a very emotional guy. He's anxious. He's nervous all the time. So he says, I'm sorry if that looks threatening or weird or suspicious in any way. I feel like he really likes to play up this whole anxiety thing. And I don't doubt that he has anxiety, but like, seems very situational because he seems to do fine socially with like everybody else, but not with Rachel. So he tells her, do what you got to do. No hard feelings one way or the other. And he also does say, I would love to still figure out how we can get on the same page, because I know that Keanu is a big fan of both of us, because again, Keanu is like a kid with two dolls trying to make them kiss. And somebody else compared it to like Keanu is trying to parent trap Rachel and Vince, and that was just hilarious. That is such a good comparison, a great reference. But yeah, Rachel tells him, I have a lot to consider. This was a clutch win for me. I got to think about some things. So Vince has another request. He's like, if I do go up on the block, may I go front door? Oh, may I go front door so I can play veto? And Rachel says, I like how you think you're a big enough threat to go back door. That's the queen. But this got a very, very big laugh from Vince. He was having fun with Rachel in that conversation. And he's like, you're keeping me humble, you know? I'm trying to build up my self-confidence, but you're keeping me humble. So Vince says he is open to making deals with Rachel, and he promises he would stick to them if they do make some sort of a deal. And he tells her, I'm not going to hide from you this week. That was old Vince. This is new Vince. He's really come out of his shell. And that is a great time for me to let everybody know the punishments are done. Keanu is no longer the butler, even though he is still offering to make food for people, making his way to the end. And Vince is no longer in his egg suit. It's so weird now seeing them in regular clothes because I'm so used to seeing them in their costumes. Okay, so a little later, Rachel's chatting with Kelly in the Have Not room, and they were talking about going deep into this game together. Rachel was kind of floating the idea of like maybe a final two. Nothing like solidified though. And Kelly was like kind of on board with it, but also I would take anything that Kelly says to Rachel with a grain of salt, because while these two have been talking a lot more lately, she's still very skeptical of Rachel, not sure if she can trust her. And I'm pretty sure later on Kelly was talking to Lauren and like talking about how Rachel's going to have to go. So I don't know how serious she is about actually working with Rachel. But again, Rachel's seeing like, I don't have a ton of options for people to go to the end with, or like that want to work with me. So she's thinking maybe I could get something going with both Kelly and Keanu. And Kelly mentions wanting Keanu, Riley, and Catherine to stick around in this game. We'll see. Okay. Then Keanu has a one-on-one with Rachel. And he brings up there's probably a good chance that she's putting Vinny up on the block. And of course, he does not want this to happen, but he knows that it is a reality. So Rachel says, actually, don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to put Vince up. What? She says she feels like she knows what she's going to do, but she's not giving out any names. I still have not heard Rachel give anybody any names on who she is planning on putting up on the block. So she does tell Keanu, I'm going to shake up the house with this move. And Keanu says he's here for it. He thinks it's going to be a home run swing for Rachel. He's like Rachel's #1 fan at this point. So Rachel lets Keanu know, I do trust you, so don't make me regret it. And Keanu says he won't. He is going to prove it to her that she can trust him. So Rachel also tells Keanu, I want to be the first 2-time winner. You know, she's not just here for funsies. She wants to win this game. She says Dr. Will, Dan, Nicole, they all played again after they won their first time, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't get that second win, but they both, not both, but they all got very close, right? So she wants to be the first one to actually pull that off. And Rachel also lets Keanu know, you got to get your shit together. She tells him, I don't like the way that you tell Vince everything that I tell you. Yeah, that's a problem, right? We've seen him do it. When she told Keanu about the Heavy Hitters Alliance, Keanu immediately went and talked to Vince about it. So Keanu says, I don't put your name behind it, though. I don't tell people, or I don't tell him that you're the person who gave me the information. Come on, dude. But he says, okay, I will be more mindful of it. You're right. I should stop doing that. And Rachel's like, yeah, how about you just don't? If you want to work with me, keep my secrets. So Keanu's like, all right. I will stop doing that. He says, I want you to know I value you in this game more than Vince. But he also says, we need Vince in this game right now, both of us. So again, he's telling Rachel, I want you and Vinny to find common ground. I really want us to work together. Okay, so Rachel, again, is telling Keanu, keep your messy game in check. And after this conversation, Keanu is alone talking to the cameras about how this could be really good for him. A former winner could be a great ally. And he was like, yeah, I guess like I could keep some information to myself sometimes. So like withhold some information. That's a good strat. Not a strat. But he's really liking the vibe of potentially working with Rachel. So Rachel got her HOH room at like 2 a.m. That's so late. So she got very emotional seeing her pictures of her kids and Brendan. She got her She got her letter from Brendan, which was very sweet, very romantic. And after that, she was still ready to talk some game, right? She wanted to get some information from people. So Rachel and Ashley had a late night one-on-one. And I still, from this conversation, cannot get a sense of what exactly Rachel is planning on doing. She is keeping her plans very tight-lipped. She's saying, I knew the second that I won what I was going to do. And she's telling Ashley, it's going to be a big move. I don't want to miss when I take this shot. But she tells Ashley, in order for this to work, all of the right people need to be on the block at the right time. She really wants to make sure that this person stays up on the block, doesn't win the blockbuster. So again, we don't get names, but in this combo, there was a lot of talk about Riley, and they're realizing how fake he is. Finally. Yeah, I mean, Rachel's been hearing little bits and pieces about Riley and how he's like annoyed with her, maybe targeting her. And they don't like how Riley tries to act like he's just there for a good time when he's actually playing really hard. So Rachel's also wondering, since when are Riley and Vince so close? When did that become a thing? And Ashley does bring up that she saw the two of them whispering together the night before. So there's definitely something going on there. And Ashley also let Rachel know that Morgan has been saying Rachel's got to go next. Uh-oh. I think she mentioned that there was a conversation with Mickey there, but she was definitely trying to push that it was more so Morgan who said Rachel's got to go. I think it's time to start spilling that tea about Mickey too. I mean, we can definitely see that Ashley is trying to protect Mickey, and she's fine with Morgan going instead. But she's trying to look out for Mickey. Girl. And like she sees that Mickey is trying to be a dictator and control everything, but she feels like she can still get something game-wise from Mickey. We'll see how things change over the week. But today, also last night, Rachel pulled Ava aside and she was asking her, and this is funny because it's way past midnight, but Ava, she's having that game talk. So Rachel's asking Ava, were you in any conversations where Morgan and Mickey were talking about targeting me and how I have to go? And Ava was like, wait, what? Like, I don't recall. I don't remember that. And Rachel was like, well, it sounds like it was sometime today, like very recently. And Ava was like, I genuinely don't remember that. Like, Mickey hasn't said anything to me about you having to go. So I don't know. So at this point, it looks like Ava is also trying to protect Mickey, which I don't feel great about, but we'll feel better in a little bit. So, all right, today, Ava and Will are chatting, and Ava says to Will, I think Mickey might be going up on the block. She says, Rachel was asking me about her last night, and I told her that Mickey hasn't said anything bad about Rachel directly to me, which I also think that's kind of a lie, because I feel like I remember conversations where Mickey was talking crap about Rachel to Ava. Like when she was telling Ava that Keanu needed to go, I feel like she was also talking crap about Rachel. But Ava says, I did tell Rachel maybe this was just a game move on Mickey's part, not talking crap about you to me, because she knows that we're close. So she wouldn't want to say that to me. So Ava's like, technically it's not a lie, but like she knows there's some shady stuff going on there. Will says he does also think that Rachel will take a shot at Mickey and or Morgan this week. Ava is starting to come around here. She says it's pissing her off that Mickey was targeting Rachel behind our backs. She says that just puts us in such an uncomfortable position because they still want to work with Rachel. And Ava says she really feels like something changed during her HOH week and it was not expressed to her. Mickey did not tell her exactly what the issue was between her and Rachel. So she's noticing now things are off between Mickey and Rachel, but she just doesn't know exactly what happened there. And Will says, well, we're going to have to prepare here. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do this week because we don't want to have to show our cards, right? If it's Morgan and Mickey up on the block, we want to make sure we're on the right side of the vote. And Ava says, frankly, she says, I love Mickey. But if Mickey decided to go against Rachel behind our backs, that's a bed that Mickey made. And I'm not going to lie in it with her. Okay. So she's starting to come out of the spell that Mickey had her under. So she's starting to realize Mickey has been doing some questionable stuff. And she does not want to go down with that ship. So Rachel has been doing her one-on-ones today. Just a few highlights from that. Riley and Catherine were talking to Rachel, and Rachel tells them, as she has been all season, she says, I support this showmance. And she lets them know that Mickey was pitching that it would just be so easy to put up the showmance. She also tells them Morgan and Vince have also said similar things in the past. So she's definitely trying to get the showmance to target that group, the remaining members of the Melting Pot Alliance. I honestly don't even know if Mickey said that to Rachel. I'm not sure. But Rachel is putting it out there. And then she's asking Riley and Catherine, do you guys want to work with me? Like, what's the dealio? And they're like, oh, yeah, 100%. Like, we definitely want to work with you. It felt kind of fake, though. It did not feel legit. And I'm sure Rachel was picking up on that. But Keanu also had his one-on-one, and he brings up the alliance that he wants to put together. Again, it would be an alliance of 6 with Rachel, Keanu, Vince, Riley, Catherine, and Kelly. Rachel doesn't seem into this. Keanu, of course, is all about it. And she's just like, I don't think she's feeling it. But Keanu is also pushing that Mickey's got to go. He says I'm with that. He says Mickey has the most influence in the house. She's been throwing your name out there. And it's time to take her out. He says He says you should put up Morgan, Mickey, and Lauren. And then he says if Mickey is on the block against Lauren when it comes to the vote, she is going to go no problem. So some food for thought, right? Also during this conversation, Keanu and Rachel officially lock in as a final 2. Keanu came up with the name Frenemies, and Rachel was like, is that what we're doing? We're calling him Frenemies? It seems like that is going to be the name. Also, Keanu was telling Rachel, I really do want to go to the end with you. Like, even if that means it's like a Derek and Cody situation, like, I'd be fine with being the Cody, because Cody went on to win All-Stars 2. And then he said, Mackenzie from last season, she's probably going to be invited back in the future. So, like, even if he goes to the end and loses, he feels like going to the end with a legend like Rachel would open up more doors for him, more opportunities to be on other shows, be on Big Brother, The Challenge, of course. So he's saying he's all about going to the end with Rachel. He just thinks it would be a legendary move. And I think he honestly is serious when he says that. I think he does want to go to the end with Rachel, but we'll see. So Rachel was still not telling anybody who she's putting up on the block. Morgan and Mickey were continuing to talk crap about Rachel, even to Ashley. And I hope Ashley is going to tell Rachel about all this. It's a choice. It really is. But we're going to see how it plays out. And I know that Rachel and Mickey just had a one-on-one conversation before this stream. I did not get a chance before this to watch it and take it all in. So we're going to pick it up there tomorrow and get all of that. I don't want to rush through that because you know that that's going to be wild. I'm pretty sure there were some like moments. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And nominations should be happening at some point tonight. So if you guys want to check back later, I will post the nominees in the description for this stream. I did miss the one-on-one. I'm sorry. I was in the shower. And then I saw that it was like 5:45 when I got out, and I did not want to delay this stream even more. So we're gonna go over that tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know what to expect because again, Rachel's not telling anybody who she's putting up. It's crazy. I mean, good for her, but like, I want to know. I hope it's a good move, but I want to thank you all so much for being here. And I want to give a special thanks to our super chatters. I hope I'm not going to cry through this. Connor Benson, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, this isn't for the game. This is for you and your sister. Prayers. Thank you so much. Middle Yak, thank you so much. And they said, so sorry for your loss. We really, really appreciate that. Chance Pryor, thank you so much. Chance says, Mickey, Morgan, or Vince needs to go home this week. Yeah. I feel like I'm okay with Vince staying. I want to see Mickey and Morgan get split up because Zach is already gone. So I feel like Vince has been weakened a bit. I want to see Mickey or Morgan go next. Or Riley. I'd be cool with Riley leaving too. That's my dream nominees come eviction night. What's yours? Also, I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you. My dream nominees. I'd be cool with like a Mickey, Morgan, Riley nomination. I think that would be a lot of fun for us. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Rachel has been saying that she wants to work with the showmance, but does she really? I don't know. I think she's been hearing a lot of stuff about Riley that she's not super happy with. So it's possible that she's targeting him. She's saying she wants to make a big move. Yeah, I guess my dream nominees would be Mickey, Morgan, and Riley. But I'd also be okay with Vince going up. Thank you again to Chance. Shane Wright, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Jay Fisher, thank you so much. Jay says, hoping for a double eviction this week with Riley and Mickey leaving. That would be like the ultimate double eviction. That would be a dream come true. I feel like it's so rare for us to get a double where we are happy with both evictions. I mean, it's happened maybe like once or twice, but it's very rare for it to go down that way. But that would be wonderful. I'm hoping there's going to be a double coming up soon. I don't think it's going to be this week because usually they'll say it ahead of time, but I'd love to see one soon. Alice Show, thank you so much for the super chat. Alice says, I'm so sorry. We have 4 pets and love them like children. Yeah, they're part of the family. Stay strong and thank you for all you do. Much love. Thank you so much. And extra much love to your pets, of course. Nomura Rin, thank you so much. And they said, I'm so happy our queen Rachel winning the HOH. I know. When I saw that, I got up to go to the bathroom overnight at like 3 a.m. and I was like, I have to check. I have to see who won. And when I saw that it was Rachel, I loved it. So that was nice. Thank you again so much. And last but not least, we have Vela. I always say your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Vela, is that a P or a D? Vela Porsten daughter? Dorsten daughter? I'm so sorry. I'm butchering your name. But thank you so much for the super chat. We really, really appreciate you. And I love that sticker. It's adorable. Okay, I see a lot of people are guessing when the double eviction is going to be. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say because they haven't really said. But all right, and thank you guys all so much for the love on the loss of our sweet Homer. We're really going to miss him. All right, I need to go before I lose it again. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and until next time, Much love.